Once upon a summertime, a mother duck sat on a nest. It was a fine nest. She had spent many days gathering up the grasses and the reeds so that she might weave this round haven in this very clever spot, curtained by the tall reeds, snug up against a protecting hill, so that she might watch in front of her and fear nothing from behind. With a contented sigh, she settled upon her 8 green eggs. Oh, my lovely eggs, a duckling you'll become. 8 precious darling eggs, I count you every one. And she did, on this day, as she had for the last 28 days. She rose up, she stretched out her wings, she leaned over, and she counted her eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, 9 eggs. I always lay 8. I laid 8. I have always laid 8, like my mother before me and her mother before that. So she rose up as tall as she could, and she stretched out as wide as she could, and she reached with her neck until she was almost upside down, so that she could count her eggs, touching each with her beak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. And that 9th egg, truth be told, was just a little ways outside of the nest, at the back of the nest, as if it had rolled down a hill and been stopped by the nest. And it was larger than the other eggs, and it was gray, not green, and it was completely covered in speckles. Oh, this one is special. So she scooped it right into the center of the nest, for indeed it was in need of warmth. And she spread herself again over all of her eggs, adjusting her song. Oh, my lovely eggs, a duckling you'll become. 9 darling precious eggs, I love you each and every one. Oh, they're hatching. Red and floppy ducklings came wriggling out of their shells, slick and awkward, with blinking bright eyes. 6 soggy sisters and 1 brother, a drake, with yellow and brown feathers and orange beaks and little stripes that go from their beak to their eyes. And they peeped and they peeped. Peep, peep, peep. Oh, mother, I am a pretty little duckling, am I not? Oh, yes, yes, my darling. You are a pretty little duckling. Me too, mother. Am I pretty too? Yes, yes, you are pretty too. Me too. Yes, you too. Me too, me too, me too, me too. You too, you too, you too, you too. What about me? Yes. You are my handsome son, the one and only Drake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 9. The 9th egg, the extra large, special speckled gray egg, was still in the nest, quiet and still. So Mother Duck hopped back onto the nest and she pulled in all her little wet ducklings so they might dry while she waited on slow number 9. For tomorrow, she would have to leave the nest, you see, to take all the little hatchlings to the pond so they won't go hungry. And so she brooded uneasily as she sat upon that 9th egg as night fell and the moon rose full, her comfort to keep. And one by one, the stars came out and filled the night sky so that Mother Duckling sang to her ducklings a little lullaby. Quack, 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 quack. Oh, excuse me. Do you know it?
Probably. Let's see if we can come up with it.
Quack, 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 quack. Oh, wait. Do you know it? Oh, good. Quack, 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 quack. 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 How I wonder what you are. Oh! It's hatching! Out from that last egg came the largest duckling Mother Duck had ever seen, and it was gray, not yellow and brown, and its beak was black, and it had no little stripes from beak to eye. Well, you are very different, my darling. But I will love you the same as all the rest. Come, my little ducklings. Now, we must go to the pond. Line up. Yes, it's all in a row. No, you, it's just, 9. Watch your feet. Yes. 2 boys at the end. That's very nice. To the pond. Mother Duck led her 8 brown and yellow ducklings and a gray number 9. At the pond, why didn't they all just leap into the water? Natural swimmers, every single one, but number 9, though he was not as beautiful as all the rest of her ducklings, he was a very graceful swimmer. Very special indeed. And so the days passed. happily playing in the pond, and the nights passed, happily snuggling at the nest as the ducklings grew bigger and stronger and bigger and stronger, until Mother Duck saw the right day that her children were at last strong enough for an adventure, and she called them together. Up, up, children, up, 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 up. Now, the farmer's daughter will have some extra grain for us to eat. So line up, no, don't push, no, the two boys at the end. 9, watch your feet. And so she led her little ducklings to the farm. Not far from the pond. It had just been disguised by a tall stand of reeds. Around the corner they went, and there they saw the farmer's daughter. Indeed, she was in the chicken yard, and she was throwing out grain to all the chickens. Cluck, 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 clucking and scratching at her legs. Oh, Mother Duck, is that you? Said the farmer's daughter. Oh, I see that your little ones have hatched. How many did you have? Oh, 9? Why, that last one is Mother Duck stopped. Oh, the little duckling stopped. But Nine the Gray could not stop. He tumbled right over those extra large feet and fell flat on his black beak. Oh, he will have to grow into those feet. You will need extra grain to feed him because he is extra large. Extra large, said the chickens. One bossy bantam. Oh, he is not only extra large, he is a very ugly duckling. Are you sure that he's a duckling? He looks more like a turkey, said the turkey, hearing his name. Who are you calling turkey? And he came running across the yard with his large wings flapping, and that red waddle, of course, was slapping back and forth right on either side of his yellow beak. Oh, you bossy hens, what trouble are you stirring up now? Right at Mother Duck and the ducklings. Well, the ducklings were so frightened they went peep, 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 willy-nilly all over the chicken yards. And Mother Duck started quack, 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 and the chickens bark, 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 and the turkey and the farmer's daughter, well, all she could do was just flap her apron at it all. zigzagging chaos of birds in the chicken yard. And Nine the Gray was so frightened by it all that he waddled all the way to the very edge of the farmyard. Looking back, he thought to himself, "Oh, I am the cause of all this trouble. Perhaps I should just go. I will just go home and I will wait in my mother's nest." But plop, a drop of rain, plop, plop, on his black beak. Oh, and I looked up, and there was a great storm cloud covering the sun, and then there was lightning and a crash of thunder, and he ran as fast as he could to the woods behind the barn, much closer than his mother's nest. Is it over? Nine the Gray came tripping out from the roots of the trees there in the woods. Well, he had turned himself around so badly inside the woods that when he came out, it was not the farmyard in front of him at all. It was water like he had never seen before, so many times bigger than his mother's pond. It was a lake, and then splash! Oh! One of his big feet landed in a puddle. So he took his other big foot, put it in too. Splash! Splish! Splash! Splish, splash, splish, splash, splish, splash. Oh, the splishing and splatting delighted him so much that he forgot everything. And when he was out of breath, he looked down and he saw a gray bird in the water. Oh, hello. Who are you? Oh, you are me. I am a very ugly duckling. Oh, up there, sky birds. Their feathers are gray and their beaks are black and their necks are kind of long. Wait for me! Oh, wait for me! And he flapped his little fledgling wings, of course, which were not ready at all to fly. So he ran and he peeped and he peeped and he ran and he ran and he peeped and he could not catch up with the elegant birds. He tripped on those extra large feet and tumbled right into the tall grass and gave himself up to weeping. Are you? Nine the Gray looked up. Looking down at him was a very large white goose. And what are you doing here? There is a cat who lives here in the grass, and if you are not properly introduced, she will eat you for lunch. Come with me. And so the goose just went waddling, and Nine the Gray got up and went following, and there soon was the sweetest white cottage you ever did see. And the white goose just jumped right up to the window and flew right in, and what could Nine do? He just leaped up to the sill and was in. Sitting in a wooden chair that rocks was the elder mistress of this little house. And she was clicking her needles with her yarn very, very close to her face. Oh, my gray goose, is that you? Yes, and I have brought a guest, but I cannot tell you what kind of bird it is. Well, bring it close to me so I might feel it. And so the white goose nudged Nine the Gray until he leapt up into the mistress's lap, and she put down her knitting and lifted him up so tenderly until he was this close to her face, and he could see that her eyes were white, as if they were filled with clouds. Oh, my little bird, I am nearly blind now, but I think your beak is black. Is your beak black? So you are not a duckling, and your neck, well, your neck is rather long, so you might be a gosling. No. You are much too large to be a gosling. Well, we shall have to wait and see. You may stay here as long as you wish and leave whenever you choose, but in the winter, we close the window. Now, the mistress, she fed Nine very, very well, and the white goose taught Nine everything that she knew, though she teased him unmercifully. Well, what kind of a bird are you? You can't even lay eggs. As for the cat, though Nine was properly introduced, whenever the white goose wasn't looking, the cat would sidle right up to Nine and say, "You look like food to me." And so it was that Nine the Gray found a home for a season in a cozy cottage by an unknown lake. And the golden leaves of fall came in through the window, and still the window stood open. But when it was the snow coming in through that window, the mistress of the house called the cat in and closed the window, and the white goose slept in her knitted nest. And I and the gray slept in a box of yarn. And the cat slept on the lap of the mistress while she clicked her knitting needles and sang to them a lullaby. Little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, and I wonder what you are. Me too. How I wonder too. How I wonder what I am. Oh! Open the window! Well, that cat went right out the window, and the white goose went right out the window, and Nine the gray went right out the window. I must go home back to my mother's nest, or at least maybe I'll go to the farmyard, to the lake. What was that? No, I have to go home to the farmyard, to the nest, to the lake. What was that? There was a voice inside of him, like it was his heart and his blood commanding him, and he could not say no to that voice that said, go to the lake. So he went to the lake. He went running and flapping his wings right to the lake. He leapt right into it and flump. Well, it was still frozen around the banks. And so he slid and scooted and slided until kersplash. He landed in the cool, cool water and began to swim around the channels between the melted ice. And then that voice again, there, there, that's a good spot for what? Good spot to build a nest. Oh, it's a good spot to build a nest. So he went right over to it and he built a nest, though he didn't know how. It was a nice nest. He built it strong and safe here, hidden among the reeds, and he went out swimming a little bit each and every day, and with his long neck it was indeed easy to reach those delicious greens down there in the water. Each and every day he went a little further. He did not dare to go too far because he would most likely get lost. And so the days passed. And spring grew stronger, and Nine grew stronger as his neck grew longer, until at last he could reach the sweetest greens all the way at the bottom of the lake. One bright day, coming up like that, a frog leaped right out at the water at him. Ribbit! What was that my voice? Or what's the matter with my voice. Oh! His feathers. Every time he shook his wings, his feathers were all flying off everywhere. So he tucked his neck in and he tucked his wings and he swam all the way back to his nest, and he saw indeed that his nest was full of feathers, and he wrapped himself around and he spoke to the reeds. He said, I am not a duckling. I am not a turkey. I am not a sky goose. I am not a house goose. And I am losing my feathers, same as I lost my family. I am very alone. I do not want to be alone, but I do not know what else to do. Perhaps I should not have run away in the farmyard from my family. Sure, the turkey and the chickens meant me no harm. And he unwrapped his long neck and he looked about that nest at all the feathers that he had shed. Oh, I am so very, very ugly. And my neck, oh, I'm sure it is a horror to look upon, though it is very useful for getting all the sweet greens down at the bottom of the lake. I do not know what I am. I do not know who I am. And I do not know what to do. It was like his heart would break. And indeed, the ache rose up from his heart, here up into his throat, and he could not help but cry out. But it was not the peep of his youth, nor that squonk of early spring. Out from his own throat came a sound that he had never made nor heard before. 9 trumpeted. And then, just a moment after, from a little distance away, he heard, oh, no. No, it's just my echo. I will try that again. He trumpeted again. And then again, it came back and echoed, this time twice. Oh, he bolted right out of his nest. Oh, wings, do not fail me now. He pumped his wings as hard as he could, and they proved strong. They lifted him until he was running on the water, pumping his wings until at last he was lifted up off of the water. He was so determined to find the source of that sound. And what he saw baffled him. Flying toward him, making that trumpeting, was a bird, the most beautiful bird that 9 had ever seen. It was a large, white bird, flying toward him, trumpeting and speaking to him. That bird said, "Oh, my son, oh, I would have recognized you anywhere. You are the child of the lost egg. However did you survive? Found, father, lost, his heart stumbled, his flying stumbled. The white bird came beneath him and steadied him. Follow me." He followed him, led him across the lake, and there were more white birds down there on the surface of the lake. Wife, come and see. I have found our son of the stolen egg. And up she launched into the air. Oh, the sun was so bright, it made a mirror of the lake. And looking down, reflected there, 9 saw 3 birds, 3 white birds, 3 luminous white birds. What has happened to me? Where is my gray, feathered, black beak, long-necked, awkward reflection? Am I? Oh, he thought of a mother. Wait here. I will return. There is someone that I must go see. And his heart was beating so fast as he flew beyond that lake, as he flew above that cottage, over a wooded place in a farmyard, all the way to a nest against a protecting hill, where a mother duck sat on a nest of 8 new green eggs. Mother Duck, 9. She recognized his voice, of course. 9 the gray, where are you? Mother, I'm up here, look up. Oh, you are well, you've always been how silly of me. I should have known you are a swan, Mother. I am a swan. And these, my friends, the last words of the story are the last words of a mother and the best words of any mother. She launched into the air until she was eye to eye with her much-changed child. She leaned in close and said, "Oh, my precious darling, I always knew you were special."